Hey people. Throwaway account because, yeah, this one hurts. I, 34M, have been married to my wife, let's call her Amanda, 32F, for almost 7 years now. We've had our share of ups and downs, like any couple, but I thought we were in a good place. I'm part of a local amateur soccer team, it's more of a passion project than anything else, but we take it seriously. Amanda's always come to a few matches here and there, cheered from the sidelines, played the perfect supportive spouse. The first sign of trouble came about 2 months ago. My team had a big out-of-town match, it was kind of a weekend thing, everyone was going. Everyone except one guy, Leo. Leo's one of our newer teammates, not the best player, but he's friendly. Said he tweaked his ankle and couldn't make the trip. Amanda offered to drive us to the meeting point, which was odd, because she's never done that before. I thought it was just her being nice. But then when we left, I saw Leo in our rearview mirror talking to her outside her car. I assumed it was nothing, maybe he just needed a ride somewhere. But now that I look back, that moment gnaws at me. Over the next couple weeks, Amanda started acting off. Not cold exactly, but more distracted. Her phone was suddenly always in her hand. She started going for walks in the evening, and she was suddenly very into soccer. Like, watching games, asking me weirdly specific questions about player positions, formations, stuff she never cared about before. At the time, I chalked it up to her trying to take more interest in my world. God, I was so stupid. So here's where things started unraveling. About a week after our away game, I came home early from work, surprise half-day. I walk in, and Amanda's not in the living room or kitchen. But her phone was on the counter, buzzing like crazy. I know I shouldn't have looked, but my gut told me something was off. The lock screen lit up, Leo soccer ball calling. The emoji? Really? It rang 3 times in a row. Then a message popped up. Last night was perfect. Can't stop thinking about you. My stomach dropped. I picked up the phone, not to snoop, okay, maybe to snoop, but mostly just. I don't know, hoping I misunderstood. But as soon as I touched it, the screen locked. Fingerprint required. Now here's the kicker, Amanda never used to lock her phone. Ever. We've always had that unspoken trust, or so I thought. When she came back inside, hair wet, towel over her shoulder, I tried to act normal. She gave me a quick peck and went to change, like nothing was weird. But the way she avoided eye contact? That wasn't my wife. That night I barely slept. I stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment from the last few weeks. Leo staying behind. Amanda's new interest in soccer. Her locking her phone. The message. Still, I told myself maybe, just maybe, it wasn't what it looked like. Maybe he was just being creepy, and she didn't want to tell me to avoid drama. I wanted to believe that. But I couldn't shake the feeling. So I decided to confront her. The next evening, I waited until after dinner. I didn't want to explode. I just wanted the truth, or at least to see how she'd try to dodge it. We were watching some Netflix comedy, and I muted the TV. Hey, Amanda, who's Leo? She froze. You know that weird millisecond where someone's brain glitches before they answer? She had that. Then came the fake chuckle. Oh, Leo? He's just one of the guys on your team, right? Yeah. But he didn't come to the last game with us. She blinked a few times. Oh, right. I think I saw him at the grocery store that day. At that point, I was fighting every urge to scream. He called you 3 times in a row the other day. And he texted you, last night was perfect. Her face turned red, not with embarrassment, but with anger. Were you going through my phone? Classic deflection. She wasn't even trying to deny it, just jumped straight to playing the victim. I didn't back down. Amanda. Just tell me the truth. What happened between you and Leo? She stood up, arms crossed. Nothing serious. It was a mistake. A stupid, one-time thing. It happened after practice one day. We were talking, he made me laugh. I felt ignored by you lately. That last line. The golden excuse. Ignored? I said. Amanda, you've been the one glued to your phone and disappearing for hours. She didn't have an answer. Just stood there, blinking, like she was trying to figure out which version of the lie to stick to. Then she said something that changed everything. It was just once. But, okay, maybe twice. But it didn't mean anything. Twice. That's when I knew the truth was way bigger than what she was admitting. After she admitted to it happening maybe twice, I felt this weird calm settle over me. Like my brain went into power save mode. I just stared at her, and everything around her, her mouth moving, her arms waving, it all felt like white noise. Then the floodgates opened. She sat back down and said, "Look, I didn't plan for it to happen. The first time was after practice when you stayed late at work. We got drinks after and one thing led to another. I asked her if it was just Leo." Silence. Then she said, "You don't understand. After the second time, he got weird. Clingy. He started texting constantly. He even followed me one time." What? So not only was she cheating, but she was now painting herself as the victim of the affair? It was surreal. Like a telenovela, but I was the idiot character who didn't know his wife was getting passed around like a game ball. She kept going. "He said he'd tell you if I didn't keep seeing him." So yeah, I met up with him a couple more times just to keep him quiet. But I didn't want to. Now I wasn't even sure what to believe anymore. Was she lying to me? Was he really stalking her? Or was she just trying to twist the narrative so she wouldn't come off looking like the villain? I said, "Amanda, do you even want to be with me anymore?" She didn't say anything. Just stared at her hands. I got up, grabbed my keys, and left. I drove aimlessly for an hour. Didn't call anyone. Didn't cry. Just drove. I didn't know if I was more angry at her, or embarrassed that I didn't see it coming. I didn't go home that night. I parked in some random grocery store lot, reclined the seat, and just sat there watching people come and go like their lives weren't falling apart. I felt numb. The next morning, I went back. I wasn't sure why. I think some pathetic part of me still hoped it was all some misunderstanding. Maybe I caught her in a moment of weakness. Maybe she was just emotionally lost. But the moment I stepped inside, she was sitting at the table with her phone out. She looked up at me like she'd been crying but was all cried out. "I need to tell you everything," she said. I sat down. She started talking. She admitted it had been going on for over 2 months. That it wasn't twice, like she said. It was more like a dozen times. Sometimes at our place when I was out. Sometimes at his place. Once in his car after practice. The worst part? She said it started because I was always too tired after work. That I wasn't emotionally available, and she felt unseen. I don't know what it is about cheaters, but they always find a way to make you feel like you made them cheat. Then she dropped another bomb. Leo wasn't the only one. There'd been someone else, before Leo. It was just a one-time thing, she said. I swear. But I think I'd been spiraling for a while. Great. So my wife was out here collecting red cards and I didn't even realize I was playing in the wrong stadium. She begged me not to leave. Said she wanted therapy. Said she finally realized what she was risking. I told her I needed space. And I meant it. I was standing on the edge of something. I wasn't sure if it was anger, heartbreak, or complete emotional collapse. After her confession, I stayed with my brother for a few days. I told him everything, something I hadn't done until now. He looked at me like I'd been hit by a truck and didn't know I was bleeding. He asked me the question I hadn't wanted to face, "Are you going back?" And I didn't have an answer. Back at home, she was texting me constantly. Walls of text. Apologies. Therapy links. Promises. A photo of her crying. A voicemail of her crying. A blurry photo of her journal, where she'd apparently written, "I've ruined everything." It felt performative. Like she was trying to build a redemption arc instead of taking accountability. Then I got a message that made everything worse. It was from a teammate. Not one I was particularly close with, just someone in our group chat. He sent me a screenshot. Apparently, Leo had been bragging in some other chat to some other guy about how he'd scored more goals off the field than on it. Disgusting. And it didn't stop there. The guy also sent me a video. A short one. Shaky camera. A bunch of the guys at a house party. Music thumping. People laughing. And in the corner, my wife. And Leo. And they were dancing like people who knew each other's bodies. And she looked happy. Carefree. Like none of this was real. Like I wasn't real. That was the moment the floor truly gave out beneath me. Before, it was pain. Now it was humiliation. Rage. Disgust. She lied to me with her face pressed against mine, in our bed, and still had the nerve to cry like she was the victim. I drove back to the house that night. Not to reconcile. But to end it. To say the words she clearly wasn't expecting. I walked through the front door like I owned the place again, but I didn't feel like I belonged there anymore. The house felt sterile. Quiet. Like even the walls were holding their breath. She was on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, eyes puffy, mascara smudged. She looked up, surprised. For a second, I saw hope flash across her face. "Hey," she said, her voice soft. "I didn't think you were coming back so soon." I didn't sit down. I didn't even take off my shoes. I pulled out my phone and played the video. I didn't say a word. Her face drained. What is this?" she stammered. "You tell me," I said. "Because it looks like you're having the time of your life while I'm at a match playing my heart out." That was before. It didn't mean anything. He was drunk, I was drunk, it was stupid. I interrupted her. "So it happened more than once?" She paused. That hesitation? That was the nail in the coffin. "You lied. You lied again. After I already gave you a chance to tell me everything." She stood up now, full of that fake indignation cheaters get when they realize they're out of excuses. "You're just twisting everything. It was a mistake, and I told you because I wanted to fix us. But if you're going to keep digging up dirt, maybe you don't want this to work." I laughed. Out loud. "You think I'm the one sabotaging this? You were sleeping with my teammate. While I was gone for 2 hours. And then you stood there with tears and told me you loved me." She didn't have a response. Just silence. And tears again. I finally said it. "I'm done." She started panicking. "Wait, no, please. I messed up. I was in a bad place. I thought you didn't love me anymore. I thought you were always too busy." I cut her off. "I was playing soccer. With my friends. For fun. You made that mean I didn't love you?" She couldn't answer. Just kept repeating, "Please. Please don't do this." I left. Again. But this time with finality in my bones. 3 days later, I served her the papers. No warning. No more talks. I was beyond the point of needing closure, I just needed distance. She got them while I was at work, and I knew because she blew up my phone with a barrage of texts. "You're seriously doing this? I thought we meant more. You're just going to throw away everything?" I messed up one time. Yeah. One time with my teammate. And then she lied about it. And then gaslit me when she got caught. Over and over. But I was ready. Or so I thought. Here's where it gets weird. Later that week, the guy she cheated on me with, my teammate, called me. Out of nowhere. I let it ring twice, just staring at his name. Then picked up. Hey, man. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from. But you need to know something. I almost hung up. But something in his voice was off. Shaky. Nervous. What? I snapped. She told me she was divorced, he said. That you'd been separated for months. I had no idea you were still together. I went dead silent. He kept going. I found out the truth after the second time. That's why I stopped talking to her. She's been blowing up my phone ever since. I didn't want to be part of this. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was it true? Was she out here manipulating him too? It added up. The way she always played the victim. The lies. The rehearsed guilt. She lied to both of us. At that moment, my anger shifted. I still hated what he did, but now I saw the full picture. She wasn't just a cheater. She was a master manipulator. And for the first time, I felt something like peace. Because I knew I'd made the right decision. Divorce day. I showed up in a clean button-down, calm on the outside, but my stomach was doing cartwheels. I just wanted it over. Clean break, no drama. But of course, she had to make it a show. She walked into the courthouse in this tight, flashy dress like she was going to a nightclub, not a legal proceeding. Hair done, makeup flawless, acting like she was the one calling the shots. Then she said it right there in the hallway before we went in. I don't actually want the divorce. We can fix this. I blinked. We are past fixing this, I said flatly. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You're really going to throw away our life because I made one mistake? One mistake? You cheated, lied to me and to him, and tried to guilt me into staying. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. She crossed her arms. You'll come crawling back. You're not strong enough to start over. That one hit me like a gut punch, but not in the way she hoped. It actually gave me strength. She wanted me to doubt myself. She needed me to feel broken, dependent, small. But I didn't. We walked into that courtroom. We signed. It was done. Just like that. And as we left, I didn't even look back. But I swear, I felt her staring at me the whole time, like she finally realized she'd lost something real. It's been a few months now. My apartment is small. Quiet. Kinda boring, honestly. But it's mine. I won't lie to you, those first weeks after the divorce felt like I was walking through fog with weights on my chest. Nights were the worst. You replay every argument, every I love you she said that maybe wasn't real. You wonder what you missed. You even start doubting your own worth. But then, slowly, clarity creeps in. You start remembering who you were before all the lies. You go for a run. You eat a meal you actually enjoy. You laugh at something stupid on YouTube and realize you're still in there. Bruised, but not broken. Looking back, here's what I learned. If your gut tells you something's wrong, listen. Denial only delays the damage. Kind words don't always mean kind actions. She smiled, she kissed me, she told me I was everything while sneaking around with a teammate. Love without respect is worthless. And once trust is gone, it's gone. You don't need to win the breakup. You just need to heal. Quietly, fully. If you're reading this and going through something similar, know this, you will survive. You might not feel strong now, but strength isn't about never breaking. It's about rebuilding when you do. Let them lie. Let them twist the story. Let them pretend they're happy.